Krishna Bhagavan Deki Bare Pai. They said that the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is still performing his pastimes right around us here. Some of us may be very, very fortunate to visualize these pastimes, especially sitting here at Mayapur Dham. We rarely get the opportunity to get the association of wonderful Vaishnavas like our most exalted Vaishnava guest here, His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj. Welcome, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
It's a great privilege to have you today with us. And without taking up more of your time, I want to quickly cut to the chase. For most of our viewers, we're very, very eager to hear. With Gaura Purnima coming up and in many places just over, how do we build the mood for Gaura Purnima? How do we prepare our heart for welcoming Gauranga Mahaprabhu into our hearts?
Thank you very much for a beautiful question. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna concluded his instruction by asking us to surrender to him. So, after that instruction, he went back to his abode. And while he was there, he was thinking, I asked people to surrender to me, but I didn't teach them what they should do when they surrender. Therefore, let me go back and teach people by my personal example what should be the duty of a surrendered soul. This is one reason. There are so many reasons why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. This is one. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explained that the internal and external reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was thinking, if I don't go and teach them what is Krishna Prema, how would they get it? Especially in Kali Yuga, people are easily offended and easily offensive, very easily, and very difficult to control. And most of these offenses are really very, very grievous. So Bhakti Thakur explained, just like a doctor will give a medicine according to the intensity of the sickness, the disease. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought of the best medicine to give to Kali Yuga, where sinful life is a religion. So he decided to come and give us the solution to the problem, because it's not easy to get Krishna Prema. Krishna requested full surrender, and we know that to surrender is not easy, especially in Kali Yuga, because one of the things that we need to do in surrendering is to maintain humility, which is a big challenge in Kali Yuga. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he decided to bring the best, easiest, and the most powerful process for deliverance of conditioned souls. That is his incarnation. In Krishna's incarnation, he came with Sudarshan Chakra, he was killing so many demons. By killing so many demons, their demonic mentality is not purified. It's still there. So even when they take birth again, they also come with that sinful activities, that demonic mentality, which is already there. But in Chaitanya Lila, he didn't come with Sudarshan Chakra. Even when there was an occasion for him to use it, only 10 people told him, see, this is not the time for this. You are not Krishna. You are Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You came with the sentiment of Srimati Radharani. Very, very merciful. You represent Audarya Vigraha, munificent. Therefore, you cannot use weapon. you cannot kill and make a demonic mentality remain. The process you came with is to control, to purify, to remove that demonic mentality. And that is by chanting the holy name of Krishna, which we know is very popular. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It is the best religion, It is the best sacrifice. It is the best charity. It is the best austerity. The best of anything else the one can do in this world is the chant of the holy name. So Chitama Mahaprabhu brought it. Therefore, it is important for every one of us to know that the many processes of self-realization which is described in the scripture and by our acharyas cannot work in Kali Yuga. The only process that can work in Kali Yuga is Nam Sankirtan which he brought. So he came with the best for everyone. Therefore, it is very, very, very important for us to prepare ourselves for it. I know that he comes on every Kali Yuga. He comes once a while, not every Kali Yuga. So this is the most fortunate Kali Yuga because the time Mahaprabhu came here was such a dangerous situation which we have, and then the most powerful medicine which the Mahaprabhu brought. How much should we be prepared to get ready to receive this medicine and get cured? You know, nowadays, with the time Mahaprabhu appeared, sin does not exist here. What one can get after many years in other places, one day here you get it. One day you can get it. So how much will we prepared for this? How much appetite we should have to relish the sublime, supreme nectar which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has brought. Because there's nothing which is compared to it. There's nothing which is superior to it. There's nothing which is above this. This is the essence of all. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu incarnation is the essence of all incarnations of Krishna. It's the essence. And nowadays time is the essence of all holy places. So we have the best with us. And Srila Bhakti Thakur said, anyone who said, Nitai Chaitanya, the sin will flee, will run away fast, they will never come back again. Therefore, it is very, very present in their date, that day. Therefore, Pandavanda Sakura said, anyone who fasts on Nityananda Trayodasi and Gaura Purnima will never take birth again.
Thank you, Maharaj. On that very, very inspirational note, I want to take questions to a different angle. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shikshashtaka mentions Trinada Bisuni Chena Taropi Saishnana Manana Margana Kirtani Sadhari. So I want to club two questions. I heard from Gurudev's lectures that humility comes many times by humiliation. And also sometimes we notice that when we have to tolerate, tolerance is a very difficult virtue, especially when it comes to dealing with devotee community. So how do we develop these two qualities in a manner that is practical for people who are practicing inside the temple and who are practicing in the congregation both?
Tolerance is a very powerful quality. It's a divine quality. It's Krishna's quality. And so Krishna's quality cannot be ordinary. So Chaitanya will emphasize that very much. Bharagita emphasize that very much. Other scriptures, other acharyas, they emphasize that because they know that is the key to getting the mercy of the Lord. If you chant the holy name, which is so powerful without humility, you won't get the result. If you practice austerity, if you're not humble, also you become proud. If you get knowledge, the same thing will happen. You become proud. Instead of becoming humble, you become proud. Humility is very, very important. Tolerating is also very, very important. Tolerance, very, very important. We have to tolerate ourselves, not even somebody, ourselves. Look at the level of our dullness in Krishna consciousness. Our level of perception of receiving what is available is very low. because of our karma. So we have to tolerate ourselves due to the dullness we have towards Krishna consciousness. Look at the regulatory principles. Look at the practices which we're supposed to do. We are struggling. 16 rand devotees are struggling with it from morning till night. And also even extending to the next day. It's very unfortunate. So it should be intolerable. But we have to tolerate ourselves to be able to cope up with this difficult situation. Ourselves first, we have to tolerate that. We have to tolerate our senses, which are constantly harassing us. If you don't tolerate it, we are not going to succeed. Our Lord Krishna told us, those who struggle to fulfill the incessant desires that come like a river running to the ocean will not be peaceful. Only those who can tolerate it, not a repression. Tolerance is different from repression. Tolerance is different. That we have the knowledge about the importance of tolerance. We have the understanding. If I should tolerate 1 minute agitation from my senses, 1 minute provocation from others, it will save me from 100 years or even lifetime prison, difficulty. Just 1 minute or moment of tolerance. I give an example. Suppose you slap me and I just walk away. The problem will end there. But if I slap you back, it will continue. The wound will be there, anxiety will be there, and the hospital money to be paid, the bills will be there, in sometimes even involving police. It become a court case. Just for 1 moment, tolerance. See the change of difficulties. Tolerance is very, very important. We have to tolerate the disturbances of our own body, because the body is meant for that. The body is a material element, full of diseases and unnecessary things next of this body. You have to tolerate it. We have to tolerate even the supreme personality of Godhead, because He is not going to do things at our time. He is going to do things at His time. So we have to tolerate. And above all, if we don't tolerate, we will simply increase our suffering. That's all. Therefore, we have to practice tolerance. It will save us from so many problems, unnecessary problems. So tolerance is good. So our Charles Bhagavad Gita told us to tolerate. And it goes with humility. If you are not humble, we are we're going to commit a lot of offenses, because false ego will become our deity, which we worship. And we are conditioned souls who are prone to unnecessary habits, unnecessary things that have nothing to do with the soul. This morning, I said Seka Prabhu were talking about keeping boundaries, transgressing our boundaries. We have a boundary. There's a limit. There's a limit to where we should act. Transgressing the boundaries brings a lot of difficulty problems. So humility is required. And we cannot just become humble just by become humble. We cannot just become humble like that. It's not just philosophy alone that can make someone humble. There are practical things that one has to undergo to become very humble. Humiliation. And look at the Brahma. He became a Haridas secular. This is a real humiliation. The topmost Brahma to Swapacha, Yavana. That is real humiliation. And look at what he couldn't do when he's Brahma. He did it. When he is humiliated, he brought. So humiliation brings the heavy amount of purification, purity, that one have the strength to overcome all difficulties, all challenges. What he couldn't do as mighty Brahma, he did it very easily, without anxiety, without tension. When the prostitute came, he wasn't angry. He was peaceful, unlike Dhira, the Vishwamitra Muni. He wasn't angry. He was peaceful because his humility, his purity has brought him to that level. He was seeing the spirit, so he would not seeing the body. Even when Maya Devi also come herself, the same thing. Haridas engaged her and initiated her into chanting the holy name of Krishna. That he couldn't do when he was Brahma, but he did it when he was humiliated and brought to that level of purity that he is. He did wonders. So humiliation brings humility. Indra, he was humiliated. He came to beg Lord Krishna. He didn't beg Lord Krishna. Even when Krishna gave him his mother's property, which the demon was taken, he was happy to take that. When Krishna took Parijata, he fought with Krishna. But Krishna humiliated him and brought him to his feet. He became very humble. And he begged Lord Krishna. And you look at his Keshava Kashmir. He's a heavyweight Digvijay, heavyweight, conquer all directions of knowledge. He was going everywhere. He was traveling on elephant. That's what he was traveling. With a lot of chariot, elephant, and horses and servants, thousands of servants, with a truck or load of books. That's where he was traveling. He was not trekking. He was on top of elephant. When he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't offer obeisance. He simply like, who is that boy sitting there? As he says, oh, that's a Nimai Pandit. Oh, that Nimai Pandit, this grammar boy. He's a grammar. Just he reduced the time to just a boy. He's a grammar. He doesn't know anything about Alankara and other top heavy philosophical. This is a small boy. Anyway, let me just look at him. His beauty is very attractive. He's appreciated that. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought him to his feet, the next day when he came to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was flat on the ground. Flat completely. Each time Mahaprabhu would tell him, get up. Oh, you are, please get up. He said, I will not get up. I will not get up. Why? I want to remain here so obeisances to you so I can get purified. See, humiliation brought him to that level of purity. And now he's offering obeisances with all the limbs of his body from his heart. Something he couldn't do the previous night. He did it. So, without humiliation, we cannot become humble. And humility is difficult in Kali Yuga because of the challenges which come with it. In Kali Yuga, if you are very humble, you are considered a fool. Let's cheat him. Let's cheat her. This is a fool. We give him or her all the services, and then we can enjoy. So it becomes very difficult to practice in Kali Yuga. Therefore, we should try to understand what humility is, what tolerance is. What does he offer us that we should go for them? Then we'll be able to stick our head there and behave like a fool and get all the necessary humiliations and become a pure devotee, develop all these qualities.
Thank you, Maharaj. It's most insightful that the false ego becomes our main deity. It's something that I never thought of. And also that just a minute of distraction by the senses which you cannot tolerate, or if you tolerate it for 1 minute, you can save yourself the bother for millions of lifetimes. Thank you very much for those insights, Maharaj. I somehow think that closely related to these points is the way we deal with the three levels of devotees, those who are seniors, those who are juniors, and those who are equals. So I wanted your Holiness's directions on how does, it's nice to be respectful to seniors as long as they don't chastise you, or to juniors as long as they don't give you negative feedback. And especially one really doesn't know how does one maintain Krishna conscious relationship with those who are equals. So I want to request your holiness to kindly give us directions on this.
First of all, Narada Muni said this principle is a process of transgressing the threefold miseries. In the fourth canto, when we were speaking to Dhira Maharaj, treating our genius with compassion. It has a negative side, positive and negative side. Treating the genius with the compassion is recommended. The opposite is exploiting them, which is very dangerous, which you shouldn't go. We have to treat them with compassion. They need our mercy to grow. Just like the parents have to bend down to support the child. That's the same process we should use to support those who are coming. And it is very, very important for us to do that, to support those who are coming. This morning we are discussing that we should smile, always smile. This smile, it is what will make people feel comfortable when they come to our movement. If you don't do that, and the reason why we will not do that, because we ourselves are not happy in our Christian consciousness. So when we see people coming, it's a distress for us. Well, you're coming to disturb me. But those who are happy in their Christian consciousness will be very happy to pass on that happiness to others. That's the duty of those who are very fortunate. Those who are very fortunate, they will make others fortunate like themselves. So it is compulsory for all of us conditioned souls to practice this, showing compassion, helping the genuine ones to make advancement in their Christian consciousness. The second says how we relate with those who are our equals. And the Muni also said that we have to treat them friendly, to make friends with them. We shouldn't show up, shouldn't advertise our progress, our success, our achievement. We shouldn't. So give them a chance to feel at home with us. And when we see those who are senior to us, we should show them respect. We should serve them very nicely. We should not be envious of them. We should serve them very nicely, because by doing that, the Muni say we transcend the threefold miseries. So the challenge which you just mentioned is when our seniors chastise us, how should we take it? First of all, we don't know the potency of chastisement. We don't know what chastisement actually is. Chastisement, Srila Prabhupada said, is a sign of love of a guru to the disciple. That's a sign of love. When the guru cares for the disciple, chastise. Why? He's correcting because he wants the best of the children. So he will correct any child that is misbehaving. That is the love to the parent for the children. The spiritual master is a loving personality. He will chastise disciples that are going wrong, because in that way he will bring them on track. We saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches humility, but when there was a chance to do that, he did it perfectly. He didn't hover one check, but he chastised severely. He did. So many devotees. They were not pundit. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised him heavily, didn't spare him. He told the devotee, I'm going to tear this man. I will tear him into pieces. The same thing he did to Bhakti. I will destroy. In fact, I gave that man leprosy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, the person who teaching humility, I gave him leprosy, but he didn't realize that I gave him leprosy because he cutting my body into pieces. He chastised. It's for correction. And eventually he delivered him. Devadatta Pandit, he delivered him also by his chastisement. Tell me, what was the problem? What was the fault of Srivas Pandit who came to hear Bhagavatam. Is it an offense to come and hear Bhagavatam? Is it an offense? Why did you throw him out when he was hearing Bhagavatam and he was relishing that? Something could you who is speaking to the experience. But the pure devotee hearing, even though you are nonsense, you don't know what is Bhagavatam. But because it is syllable of Bhagavatam, he had it. He could get the meaning and he was in ecstasy. You did not feel that. What was your offense that you threw him out? You are dry and your students are also dry. Devanapandi kept quiet. He didn't say anything. Chaitanya blessed him and eventually he liberated him. It's chastisement. We don't know the purification that comes through chastisement. That is why we feel bad if you are chastised. And I said, I will not have a disciple that I cannot chastise, because my duty to make sure the disciple act properly. That's the duty, to make sure the child is properly trained and directed. It's our responsibility. Srila Prabhupada said, if we don't take care of the disciples, it's illegal. It's illegal. How will you take care of the disciple if you don't correct them, you don't chastise them, you don't show them what to do? So Papa did chastise the disciples many times. And the one particular one which I like very much. I like it, or like all the chastisement. But this one I have repeated many times. When a devotee had arranged one of the Kumbh Melas Prabhupada attended, he probably was kept at the end of the of the gathering. He was at the end. When Prabhupada came, he said, why did you bring me to the end where I will not have people to preach to? I didn't come here to take a bath. I came here to preach. And you kept me where I will not see devotees to preach to. He chastised the devotee. The devotee left with feeling very bad inside. Oh, I have disturbed my guru's preaching. Yeah, he came here to preach, and I kept him where he did not preach. This is very bad. I don't know how to manage. He was feeling sorry like that, because he was feeling sorry what he did, and thinking about all that. Prabhupada noticed it and he sent for him. He was appointing me this time. But Prabhupada keeps ice block. There were ice block in Prabhupada's hand. So, come here. So the devotee came, so he grabbed his hand and put his hand there, ice blocks. He was very happy and satisfied. That is chastisement. It is not wrong. It is love. And we can continue to show his mercy. But if we don't see that, and we are not ready to make advancement, we will not appreciate chastisement. So those who do not appreciate chastisement are those who do not want to make advancement in their. Even if the chastisement was something that we do not, but Christian does not forget. And he arranged for it to take place so that we can make advancement. So we should appreciate it. Better to be corrected and chastised sometimes than to always be glorified. Always glorification is very dangerous. And always chastisement is not good. It should be balanced. So we don't feel, oh, I'm useless. What is this? So both is nice.
Now it will be easy for me to, for example, receive chastisement from you because you are my authority. So suppose my assistant who's been helping me coordinate and others, if he gives me a feedback that is, piercing, how does one handle it when one gets criticism from someone whom one thinks is seemingly junior?
Yeah, that is because we don't understand the dynamics of Christian consciousness. Therefore, to help us, practical way to help us deal with that. When we get the feedback, we should write them down, but don't look at it. Okay. We should keep it. After 1 week, then you can look at it. Oh. You will not react negatively to it.
That's so practical.
Yes, you will appreciate it. In the beginning, we simply here to defend, but don't here to defend. Just write everything down and don't comment. Just write everything down and keep it. Go back to it after a week. he will appreciate that devotee who has given us that. That will help us to make.
This is very, very practical. Thank you. I have the next question that I have is in terms of when it comes to maintaining relationship amongst devotees, we have to practice all these virtues of humility, tolerance, compassion, sensitivity, empathy, etc. There is one risk that comes, especially when one is trying to develop a community, and Your Holiness has stressed so much on community development, as is Srila Bhakti Swami Guru Maharaj. So when we are trying to develop a community, often ashramas have to have interactions. Somebody from Grihastha ashram to deal with somebody from Brahmachari ashram, and vice versa. So how do we establish a community without violating the maryada of the ashrama? Sometimes the lines tend to blur. What's a positive way of doing it?
Community means people of the same like-mindedness. When we don't understand what is community, then we have this problem. If you understand what is community, people of the same mindset, the same interest, the same likeness, the same attraction. Most of the time, our difficulty is that we are bringing opposite people who are not committed to our project. When we bring them in, it's difficult. We always have problems. Because, okay, today we are going for Haranam 10 o'clock. The person who is not committed to that project, he will not be there. They have excuses regularly, which is wrong. But those who are of the same mindset, they'll be very happy. This is what this community means. Means what? We are all contributing individually to make a success. It's a community. Everyone contributes. Individually, we contribute and become a unit. A unit means different contribution put together with a common interest. Will succeed. So in this way, the brahmacharis will function properly. The householders will function properly because they know their duty. They know their duty. The vanaprasthas, the sannyasis, and others who are living there, they know their duty and they goes about it. That is why Maharaj is called the Adiraja, because he was the first person who had he created all this, make a community. He created all this and make everything perfectly. Everybody was doing their duty perfectly because they are committed to it and they know what that is why we are here. So if we follow this principle, we will succeed. If we bring in people who have no commitment, who have no interest in the project, we will not succeed. We will have all the problem. So the mistake we have made before, we should not repeat it again. Now we are mature, we have experience, so we should do things nicely. So we have a best result.
Another thing that many of us who are your initiated disciples or your disciples by instruction, one thing that we noticed from you is how the completely sensitive dealings that you have with the mothers in society. And we have a very skewed understanding of how to deal with the opposite gender. So if you could please tell us some guidelines in terms of how people in the renounced order would deal with mothers and vice versa, both.
Yes. There is a psychological space to be maintained by everyone. That is psychological space is best practice for our inner development. What we understand by different devotees, different personalities we have with us. If our consciousness is these are the devotees as spirit souls that should be properly engaged in different services, and there is a psychological space, a clear demarcation is made between, things can function very, very nicely. But if we are too conscious of the external thing and forget internal considerations, they will have difficulties. So everybody should be appropriately engaged in Christian consciousness. Everybody should engage in Christian consciousness. And they shouldn't be, everybody should know their limit. Like we said, the boundary before. We should know the limit, not going beyond the limit. And the committee means that there's a head who should check to see that things are not going beyond the limit. In all circumstances, things are going according to the limit. That's the duty of a leader, to make sure these things are functioning like that, and not become irresponsible or disrespectful to anybody because of our body. The beginning of our teaching is that we are not the body, but we are not the body. It's a very, very deep thing. It's one sentence. We're not the body, but it's very, very, very deep. How we're not the body is not properly understood, and because our sadhana is not very strong, we don't have the inner development ability to be able to understand how we are not this body, how we should see things equally. Look at Haridasa Thakur. How did he respond to? We're not saying that we are Haridasa Thakur, we should do like that, but why the scripture put everything for us? They put it for us to learn and to see how to deal with every situation from examples we have. That's why the scripture put everything together. How did he deal with everybody? He deal with everybody equal. Harida did not tell, oh, you prostitute, you have come to form me down, you go to hell. He didn't say like that. Prabhupada said, the brahmachari, by how he is not restless in the presence of a woman. That's a brahmachari. The person who is restless in the presence of a woman is not a brahmachari. It's not. There's qualification for everything. One who is composed in the presence of everyone, yeah, that's a brahmachari. And it requires a very strong sadhana to come to that point. So we can be able to do things according to the place, time, and circumstances. This is our time, place, and circumstances. What is the circumstance? What is the situation? If the situation requires such a certain person to do some certain thing, it should be done, and we'll get our result. But supervision is required, and maturity is also required. All those things will come through our strong sadhana. So
supervision, maturity, sadhana,
yes,
very, very important angles to our devotion service. Having mentioned the way we have to keep everyone engaged, you mentioned that point briefly. One of the things that we notice is in many temples, there is a large amount of festivals being organized, huge festivals like here in Mayapur now, and hundreds of thousands of people throng the temples. Somehow there is an understanding that we are not able to adequately engage all the hundreds of people who are coming to these temples. And because ours is a personal movement, so what are some of the tips that large temples can adopt, especially places like dhams, to ensure that the vast number of pilgrims who throng the temples, they are adequately engaged?
We are making big festivals, big kirtan melas, big, huge projects all over. All these things are going on. But what is our achievement? What are we getting from our greed, our loss, our envy, and impersonalism? Is it going down? We should check. We cannot just continue to do things, and without checking to see what the result of what we're doing. Big festivals, it's okay. That's okay. But what is happening after the big festivals? What is happening? How much purification do we get from this? And why there's not so much purification. We still remain every day dealing with the same situation. We're doing it. We're doing them. It's part of our system to hold festivals, to organize Kirtan Meli. But we are chanting 16 rounds before we starting our Kirtan Mela. We are keeping the 4 religious principles before we do our Kirtan Mela. Our festivals, just to make a very big show of our festivals. What is the impact we are making in the life of people who attend, even the devotees who participate in this? Today's chant 16 rounds before they started cooking. Do they follow the principle before you do all these festivals? So we are simply doing these big festivals just in a name to make a very big show. Are we getting as much as necessary that is required, or we are getting less? And why we are getting less, we should look at all this, so that at the end of our festivals, our programs, there is thousands of people to come. It is not a new thing. I think we should be used to it now, that we are doing a program, we are expecting thousands of people. So we should make an arrangement, we should organize ourselves properly, we'll make arrangement that whoever comes, they have something to remembering our emotions, which we supposed to show in our Krishna consciousness between us and Krishna. That is not prominent. We have forgotten that. We are not Gyanis, we are Bhaktas. Now, Bhaktas has feelings of love towards Krishna. And Krishna appreciated his copy because the Brahma said they serve Krishna with affection. The affection they use for serving Krishna, not our ability in the service. It is our love in the service that we offer to Krishna that is important. So we were just going through that side, knowledge, getting knowledge. So many seminars, so many things are going on, and devotees are getting that. But we don't see the emotions we show. We don't see the affection we have towards Krishna for that. So many devotees are feeling dry because our intellect is maintained, but the heart is not so nourished. It's not going to the heart. So I feel that we should look towards this side, our feelings, by going deep into our practice. We should give more emphasis into strong sadhana instead of the routine sadhana which we do every day. We should go deeper into it. The sadhana is an chance for us to use that to enter deep into it and go deeper. Then we will get to the real thing, which is the perfection of being a devotee. That's how I feel and I see. I'm not perfect, but this is my limited vision.
Thank you, Maharaj. Your limited vision is very hard to disagree with. It's just so spot on. I want to conclude today's talk with one important question. If you were to look at the Chaitanya Charitamrita as a scripture, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada said that even if all the scriptures of the world they have to be destroyed in a deluge, the Chaitanya Charitamrita should be protected because that is the topmost teachings for mankind. So I just wanted to understand from your perspective, if there are 3 things that you would like to advise all our viewers in time for Gaura Purnima as to the 3 big lessons of Chaitanya Charitamrita that Mahaprabhu himself or through his associates he's setting for us. Your choice. I'm not saying 3 is a number, I'm just randomly saying. As your holiness decides, what are the few things that we remember in time for Gaura Purnima and beyond as clear lessons from Chaitanya Charitamrita?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted us to take care of devotees. He should take care of devotees. It's very, very important. The chanting of the holy name, not the alphabet, but the real name is important. He gave an emphasis on Nam Sankirtan, Harinam Sankirtan, taking care of the devotees. Yeah, we should study our scriptures also. We should study the scripture very nicely. In association of devotees and yes, serving Lord Krishna as our primary deity. So with this, we will have success in our Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Maharaj. So that's it from all of us, Prabhus and Matajis, in preparation for Gaura Purnima and beyond. Jese Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani, and I am so fortunate that I had the good fortune of spending time in Dham, Srila Mayapur, with my revered Shiksha Guru Srila Bhakti Damodara Swami Maharaj. And they say there should be Gaura Naam, Gaura Dham, Gaura Kam, and Gaura Katha. So we wish you lots and lots of this through this festival season and beyond. Please keep watching MayapurTV, and to all the wonderful devotees who have witnessed this great few words from His Holiness. Thank you very much. We want to once again thank Maharaji for his wonderful time. Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.